colleges and classes. The students at the Academagia belong to one of 7 separate colleges. As the school year progresses, you may learn a bit about the reputations of each one, but for an incoming student, the main thing to be aware of is the core curricula. Every student has to sign up for 6 classes in a year, and every college requires 2 or 3 specific ones. If you choose to be in Academagia, you have to take calligraphy and history. If you choose to be in Durand, you have to take botany, dialectic, and negation. Check out the colleges until you find one that suits your interests reasonably well, then pick your optional classes, then click Next. So here, I am going to opt to pick Academagia, and I'm going to augment my classes a little bit. I would like to take some zoology. I would like to take incantation. I would like to take enchantments, and I will stick with botany. And again, for each of these classes, I can read down here a little bit about them. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Next to continue. This is the last stage of character creation. Once you click Next here, all of your choices are locked in, all right? Just be sure to remember that. If you want to go back, up here in the upper left, you can see there's the back button, and it will take me back to the previous step where all of my options are still there. But if you're okay, then we'll just stick here on the appearance screen. Every college offers you a choice between one of 2 faces. Your options as an Avila student are different from those as a Vernon. So if you really hate the options available to you from your particular chosen college, you can always go back and switch college and class. That said, they're all fairly awesome, so we hope you won't be tempted. And you can switch between the 2 simply by clicking this Next button, and you can pick the character you'd prefer to look like. And again, different for a boy, different for a girl. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick to be this particular guy. This is going to be the face of Edward Blackpool, and I'm going to go ahead and hit Next. Familiar's name. At this point, you should see a little brass plaque pop up on your screen. Type in what you want to call your familiar. Do try to be kind. If you choose not to select a familiar, then you won't see this plaque at all. When you have a name entered, click on the circular button extending from the top right corner of the brass plaque, and that starts the game for real. So let's go through here and enter in a name for my familiar. Let's get a right proper capital letter, which is for some reason, there we go, eluding me. My familiar's name is going to be Reggie. I'm going to go ahead and click this close button here, and the game is going to start properly. Okay. Here we are in the main interface. The first thing I want to give you an impression of is some of the options you have here on the left-hand side. You can see up here we have a picture of the crest of the school. I have my portrait. I have my name. I can click on it and get some more information about myself, should I really want to do that, instead of just looking here on the left. But you see here you have these 5 informational menu options. And I'm going to go ahead and click through these and sort of give you an idea of what you can be looking for in these areas. So, as we talked about just a moment ago, here are all your attributes, and I can see the scores that I've assigned to them. If I click on any of them, you can see how it highlights. I can read over here on the right-hand side what exactly that attribute is all about. I can do that for any of these items, and you'll see that's a running theme. You can click on many things in the game and get information about them in the right-hand menu. You have your abilities and actions. These are options that are available to you in the course of your time at Academagia. You can perform these abilities and these actions. If I have any questions about them, I can click on it and I can scroll through here and I can read some details about how it functions and the benefits that it gives me. I can click on skills and research. I can see here in this brown box, this is my skill level. This book shows my study level in that class for that skill. You can click on this plus sign as well, and you can see sub-skills. It's important to note that sometimes you need to level up a sub-skill before you can level up its main skill. And again, I can click on any of these options and I can read a little bit about what the details related to them are. If I click on magic, I can see these themes. Themes, again, are the building blocks of magic spells. I can click on a theme and I can read about that theme and what it does. And lastly, I can click on my items, and I don't have any items now, but normally I could do the same thing. I could click on an item and read a little bit about it. There is information more in depth for each of these items in the manual. So I will, this is one of those points where I'm going to recommend to you that you take a look there to get some more in-depth coverage than I'm going to give you here in this tutorial. Okay. The center of the screen, now that we've covered the left and right side information bars, in the center of the screen, you see here this text. And this is the main event window. It's not a very dramatic event right now, you're just reading a letter, but it's an event nonetheless. And here at the outset you have the event text here in black in the center, and then you have a line that reads previous page, 1 of 4, next page. That shows you what text you have available to scroll through. So here I'm going to click next page and I'm going to scroll through. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me read it, but you can scroll through here. Again, if you see any red highlighted text like this, you can click on that and get information on what's available. That's what this context menu here up in the upper right deals with. It's the contextual items of the event that you are in. So we're going to click through and get to the end. And below the previous and next line are your actual choices. And this little red, see these are your choices here, and this little red validate orders option in the bottom right will have you continue once you've made your choice. In this case, you have 2 options available, but you should always scroll through if you see scroll bars just to see what all of the options available are. And you can see that they're both listed in green, but that's not always going to be the case. The green text here signifies there's basically no way for you to fail. Purple text means that there's no hope for success, and the other colors will scale in between those options. So I'm going to go ahead and put this letter away because we don't need to go through the whole thing. I recommend you, however, read it on your own. So now we're going to go ahead and click Validate Orders and continue.